Hello, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Finish More Music podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by one of Spain's finest house music producers. He's incredibly prolific, whether it's his solo productions, collaborations, remixes, and he's no stranger to blowing up parties all over the world behind the decks as a DJ as well. KPD, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, like really excited because I love your journey that we've been talking about and can't wait to kind of explore more of this. What have you been up to lately though? Because I know it's obviously Ibiza season and all of those things. What's been going on in your world with the DJing and the producing and all of those things?
Well, I have a great summer. Well, actually, this is gonna sound crazy, but I try to don't work that much on summer because my wife have the whole month of August of vacations. So I try to don't work that much. I work a lot. I've been in Ibiza like 2 times in Pats Ibiza. I was in Bulgaria. I was in I think Turkey. Pretty much whole Spain and. Oh no, I probably forgot a couple of things, but I've been playing a lot, but I try to don't play that much because, in summer you can play Monday to Sunday, and I play the whole winter, Thursday to Sunday, and I need rest. I need a little bit of rest, and it's good to my wife have 1 whole month. So I try to don't work that much. I moved to South Spain. I live in Madrid. That's what I live. And on summer, I moved to South Spain. I put my base over there and I travel from there. So my wife can be in the beach. And so that's what I do. And I have a great summer, man. It's still having a couple more gigs. I'm going to the closing, like I was telling you before, I'm going to Pacha closing on the 3rd. And I'm going to be in ADA, the biggest, for me on Europe, actually is the biggest convention of DJs. And if you are the DJ or producer, if you want to meet anyone or you want to show your demos or whatever, you have to be there. I love it more than Miami conference because it's Europe city, so you can go walking everywhere. You meet everywhere around. You don't need a car for anything, and it's awesome to be. You have to be there. So summer was really good, and winter is gonna be better. And I've been doing music. I only stopped doing music on that month and August, and I'm back in the studio now with all the energy and power that I get from summer. So I'm ready for this new year. Like I start celebrating the year on September like a school. We do school years like September to June. That's my whole year. So that new season is coming, starting now.
Love it. And what I particularly love about this is that you're kind of the master of your own life in terms of your work-life balance. It's like most people are saying, oh, now we've got to be DJing. And you're saying, no, actually, I can take this time off and recharge and I can still have this career and succeed and do all of these things. Because I think a lot of people think that you kind of have to be constantly at it all the time. There's no rest. There's no chance for family. And what you're saying is, yes, it is busy, but actually you make space for your family.
I mean, it depends how much you want money or how much you need money. And I don't know, I always explain, maybe because I'm getting old and I feeling young, but I'm getting old to see all the, all the industry. You can decide, man, to work. I mean, it's work for everyone. And I always compare of like restaurants. You got the small bar and the Michelin one. And you can be here and living so good being a DJ. You don't have to be the best one, or you don't have to be the biggest one. You can live just being here. Actually, the house music is not that commercial like Tech House or ADM or bigger rooms. So we feel small clubs, and the parties are not that big, and it's not that many parties of house music. So it's a little bit harder to work, but it's still being work everywhere. I mean, like it's parties Monday to Sundays all around the world in every city, and you have so many clubs, you have so much work, so it's not that hard to get a, if you're good, you have to be good, you have to, I mean, it's a job, you have to do it good, you have to be serious on it. And I don't know, man, I have to take my time. I mean, it's, if you travel so much, you party so much, and your body make you stop a little bit sometimes, so it's good for me to stop. I don't stop. I still playing like 6 times or 8 times in August, but I don't play every day. Like I got friends over here, they play Monday to Sunday, and I'm like, why you do that? Because I love money, man. I love to, you know, or I love to party, or I love to be there. It's like, yeah, you're 21, 22, 27. But when you're gonna be 30 or 40, you're gonna be a smash. You're gonna be bad, and it's not gonna be that easy. So it's better to work a little bit less and work longer. I think
makes perfect
that's
sense.
what will work for me. But
Yeah, and that's really
style.
interesting, because we were talking before and you were sort of mentioning about how the DJing came first. So and then you moved into the production. It would be great to explore that, because you've been DJing for a long time.
I started being a DJ. Yeah. I started being a DJ when I was 18. I remember, because I just came right from I came from States, and it was so hard. I mean, people start being DJs so early right now, but it's because the equipment is cheaper than before. Like when I was 18, I didn't get a job. It was so hard to get the turntables, and it was so hard to get vinyls. And those two things are really good. The second one, the vinyl ones, it was so good because the vinyls you just get once a month, once a week, or something like that, or 2. So you play those vinyls like crazy. So the music was so important. Like right now, you just release a track and it's like 1 week track, and you need another one, and you didn't need another one, and you don't play the music that much, man. You have to stick with some records and play it, like make it a hit for you or for your set. So I started being a DJ when I was 18. No, it was hard to produce because it wasn't that much computer, I think. And I started playing music until I was late 26. I was in Argentina playing with Red Bull, and a girl of Red Bull told me, you need to be a producer, man. And I was like, we cannot move you anymore. We need this. Now the DJ have to be a producer. And I was like, well, all right, let me try it. So I called a guy in Madrid that he have in a school, and I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, we do Logic over here, 1 month, 4 hours a day. You're gonna learn a lot. And I was like, I learned a lot because I didn't even know how to start a computer, actually, and I didn't know how to Logic work at all, and it was crazy. But you know what? I meet some incredible people in the school, guys that I did music, and guys that present me to another guys, like it happened with David Penn, or I don't know, a lot of people that I want to think. So I did that course, and I started producing music, and I started meeting people. Like one of the first guys that I met, it was Dante Swanderson, the guy of he's the son of the legend Kevin Swanderson. So I did a record and sent it to his label, and KMS is the label, and the guy was so happy. Oh, we love the track, and I was fast. I was like, thank you very much, man. You want to do something? And he was like, yeah, I got some vocals. And I was like, great, send me some vocals. So he sent me some vocals from La Rae, Crystal Water. Crystal Water, it was his mom. She did Black Water. That's one of my favorite records of the whole world. I mean, it's one of the incredible records. So he presented me so many singers that I started working. I did my first hit with Defected, place called Home, signed it with him. I was 27. I started producing music. I think I was 26, 25.
What year was that? Do you remember?
It's 14 years ago. So it was gonna be like 14 years ago. It was 2000. 8, 10.
That sounds like about right. Yeah. 2008.
Like yeah, 14 years, something like that, 14 years ago. And I released my first record with Defected. I thought this is for the new guys, man. I thought it was gonna be my track, the track who put me in the moon. And you know what? Nothing happened. Nothing, man. It's crazy. Nothing happened. I thought I was gonna. I'm all over tattoos, and I was like, if I made it with Defected, I've tattooed Defected on myself. This is gonna be the moment. This is gonna be the track, and nothing happened. So you know what? You have to keep working your ass, man, because sometimes you make a hit and nothing happened, and you have to work more and more and more. But you know what happened with that track? That I meet David Penn, man. David Penn is from Madrid, the greatest house music man in the world. And he was in his studio with a friend of mine that he rent part of his studio. And David was like, man, look, this track is amazing. And the guy was like, they call me KPD, but KPD is KPD in Spanish. So David was like, look at this guy, KPD, amazing track. And this guy, my friend Alex, was like, KPD is from Spain, man. I know him. He's a resident right here in a club. And he was like, no way. And David called me. I was in the gym. I never forget that call. I was in there running in the gym, and he called me, and I was like, hey, hello. He was like, hey, I'm David Penn, man. I was like, what? The phone just jumped around. I was like crazy. I was like, what? Man, David Penn, man, I got all your vinyls, man, and that's you're my idol. I was like crazy, man. So nothing happened with that track, but made me meet the greatest on house music, man. And that was amazing. The next is history. I make like 5 tracks with him. I have 2 more tracks coming out in this year. We released 2 more tracks. We released a place called I Got No, 25 millions on Spotify. We released Jerking on Armada. He made me meet all the guys in Armada. I don't know, so many things happen. Just keep working. That's the thing. I don't know where we came from.
No, that was great, because that really kind of covered your trajectory, and that was one of the things that I really wanted to ask you, because I was particularly interested in 2008 as, you know, what year it was, because if you go on Beatport and you look there, and I think the first releases are showing up from kind of 2011, like, you're so prolific. And it ties into this comment that you made where you said, like, you know, these tracks, now that it's not vinyl, like, they can be gone kind of in a week, and so you just got to keep making music. And you're like smashing loads and loads of tracks out. Of course there's remixes, collaborations, but you're like highly prolific. So that was the question I wanted to really ask behind that, is like, how much music do you write? How many tracks do you finish? How many tracks do you send out to labels? What does that look like?
Well, actually, I start, like you say, if I released my first track of 2011, I think that it was called Cazapa or something like that. It was with a friend of mine. He was calling Benny. Now it's called Landican. He do chill music, like down tempo and all that stuff. And I think the next thing I did a chill out album, and then I did an album of house, funky house. I released two albums, and I did the chill out because I used to go to the studio on Sunday. After all the parties and everything, so I need to calm down, and I did the album and I released it, and then I did the other album of more funky stuff, house stuff, and then I started releasing just singles. And I did so many singles because I didn't know. I thought all my music was so good, and I thought all the music have to go in good labels, but I didn't reach the good labels because I didn't got the contacts, and it was so hard to get on on call with the good labels. That's why I told you, you have to go to ADA, because you got over there all the owners of the labels and all the labels, and they're next to you, and it's so easy to give the promos, and it's so easy to give the good mail, so you can send the music to good labels. So I started doing a lot of music, man. I don't know, I probably can do, I try to do one track a month, but I usually do more. I usually do like a track on a remix, and I don't know if that is good. Like, I don't know if you, I mean, now I know what I want. I know what I want to do, and I know what sound I want to get, and it's easy for me, so I can work fast, or I can be releasing more music. But I think you don't need to do that much music, or you don't have to do it that fast. You have to give more love to the music, I think. I think so. But sometimes the label asks you for a track, or they ask you for remix, so you have to do it fast. And I don't know, that's the new industry. That's the industry. They get bored so fast, and they have so much music to release. Like, I got a project over here that I'm gonna release it with Motif. It's an Australian records. I release a lot with that label. I like it. And I did the track 2 years ago, and I sent it to a good label. He said yes, and it took 2 years. It was COVID, so it was quite hard, but they said yes, and they have the track stuck at 2 years. And now they call me, we changed the sound and everything, so we don't want the track. And I was like, tracks still sound amazing, because that's the good thing about house music, that always sounds good. And I mean, if you do it good, like, it always sounds the same. House music, you can be a little bit up or down, like more funky or more deeper, but it's house music. It's not like Ted's house or ADM that it can pass and sound old, or trance or something like that. They probably sound old. Actually, house music, if you sound old, sound better. I think my opinion, actually. But I think my radio show is House Music Never Dies. Well, that's the same. The house never pass. If you do a good house music, never pass of I don't know how you say it. Moda is like how you say well, it never pass.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. So did you, when you first started out, were you finishing more pieces of music as you were practicing and learning and getting tracks out, and now you're sort of refined and you write less music? Has there been a change since when you kind of first were learning your craft up to now when you're an established artist?
I mean, you know what? I never follow that many rules, so that's why I did so much music at first. And I do the music because I like it. I don't do the music. I do it because I like it, because I feel it. I don't do the music for the club. I don't do the music. Now I starting to do the music for club, because at first I used to do house music that I love, but it was like more for the radio. It wasn't for the clubs. So I have the problem that I couldn't play my tracks because I was doing it on my house, and I didn't try it in clubs. I just did the music. So now I'm doing more the music for clubs, and I don't know, I try to sound more like a club, more doing clubs tracks. That's what I try to do. And I try to do less music, not that much music, but it just depends of the moment of the industry. If they ask me for remix, or they ask you for a track. Now they paying for the track, so labels are paying for tracks, so they want you to be on the label, and they paying you, so that makes you have to make more music. So I don't know.
Is there a split, sort of an amount of time that you tend to spend in the studio versus preparing for and DJing? How do you balance that? because there are sort of two things that you're doing. One is being in the studio writing your music, then obviously the other one is traveling and DJing. How does that, I guess a better way of putting this is, what is your routine like?
Well, my routine is easy. I got Mondays for I guess it's crazy, man. Well, actually, I'm a resident DJ here in Madrid. I love my resident. I play in a club called Panda, and I love my resident. And I only work Friday and Saturdays. I love it, and I love my resident because I know the crowd, and they let me try a lot of music. So that's why I love to be a resident of a club. Sundays, I got a huge hangover, and Sundays night, I do all my radio, like I do all my search for promos. I keep all the promos, and now that I'm so friendly with David Penn, I got all his promos, so I got a really good mail of promos. So Sunday night, I do all my promos. Monday morning, I wake up early, and I do my radio show with all those promos. And I try to work my body on Sunday noon and afternoon, so I get all clean. And then Tuesday I start on the studio. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, a studio in the morning, and Thursday afternoon I probably put all the track together for the weekend. Sometimes I work on Thursday, sometimes not. So I prepare the weekend. But I have all my promos prepared from Sunday and from Monday that I play on the radio show. So I know all the promos that I'm gonna play at the weekend. And I love to be in this resident club because I can play long in all the promos. Because when I travel, I have to. I play more my tracks, so I play more the hits because you only have 1 hour and a half. So I don't let you explain the people. I don't let you tell your story. If they do longer set, obviously I'll be playing more music. But if you go 3 to 4:30, you got the best hour. You wanna smash the club, just play the hits, easy. So that's why I love to be a resident DJ.
How long do you play typically for your residency? How long's your set?
Probably 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours here, easy. And sometimes the 6 hours. Yeah, depends if you will. If it's bad weekend, we always have guests, but sometimes we don't have guests because they get sick or it's a bad time of the weekend. January is really good bad for that, so we don't have guess. I play the whole 12 to 6 o'clock, 6:30, so 12:30 to 6:30, and it's good. I don't care, man. I love it. I mean, I don't do it that much, so it's not that bad, and it's easy. And I came from vinyl, and I came from when DJ wasn't that important, and you have to make long sets, and you have to tell a story, and you have to come from down to up, and go with the flow, man. Just see the crowd and just game and go, and that's what I love to do. So that's why I love my resident. And actually my perfect set would be 3 hours. I think that's the perfect set. 3 hours, right?
Yeah, I love that. So
you know, a
DJ,
DJ,
get to tell the story.
Let me tell you something. You know, a DJ when you let the guy play a long set, because he probably smashed all the good tracks at the first hour, and then you got 2 more hours to tell the people what you got on your pen drive. So that's why I love to see DJs playing longer, because it's easy to play all the hits. That's so easy.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that you get to put your personality in it. You get to test new music. The crowd trust you because you're the resident there, so they trust that the journey and that they're going to have a good time. That's amazing. So when you go into the studio, what does a studio session look like? Let's say you were going to start a brand new track. How would you approach that? Do you already have an idea in your mind? Are you experimenting? Is it different every time? If I sat in the studio with you, what would I see?
Oh, actually, if you sit down in the studio 4 years ago and 10 years ago, it was like I tell you, I just sit down and I start putting sounds on it and see what happened. So I didn't know where to go. I was just making house music. That was the thing. And now that I know that I want club music, I know what tracks work and what track don't work. So I quite know where I'm going. And I'm always trying to have a good cappella. Maybe sometimes I ask the labels. Maybe sometimes I start with a bass, with the whole structure of the track and send it to a singer. Sometimes I just steal or stole some capellas from, I don't know, old vinyls or YouTube videos. I do that a lot, man. I do that a lot. Like I love vocals, like a speech, and I love to steal them from everywhere. So I usually start like that with a good bass line, good kick, hi-hat, claps, and a little bit of percussion. I don't know if I'm using it, and a good vocal. And then I start chopping that vocal, and now I got the idea. I start putting pianos or whatever I feel that the track needs. So I'm quite now I know what I want on the studio. My time is, so I use less time than before, because before I just sit down in the studio, start putting loops together, trying to get, like I told you, I wasn't a musician, so I have to start working on it. So I'm starting in my piano with the bass line. I'm like, or drawing on Logic, my bass line. I trying, oh, that sounds good. That doesn't sound good. Now I'm good on that. But before, I have to ask my friends. I do a bass line, talk to my friend. Oh, this is on. This is good. This is on. I don't know how you say it, tempo or scale. Oh, that they're good
the
on
scale.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I have to learn everything. Looking videos of YouTube, talking to people. When I was in London doing the second course that I did, learn a little bit more. So it was like, it was a process. It was all a process, and it wasn't easy, because like we were talking about David Penn. He's a musician. He studied a career. He's a pianist. He's amazing. He just sit down and he's like, I tell him, all right, I want this, and he's like, bah, 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 bah. And I was like, ready to go. I was like, it was so easy. I was in my studio. I'm like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, this is like that. And now Logic is better. So you push a button, and it sounds like the whole piano. It's like easy. It's like you push and it goes bah, bah, and this is easy. Now with the technology, everything is easier. For sure.
I love it. So you get that core idea, which is normally inspired by like an a cappella, or you write a piece of music and send it off and say, hey, can you get a vocal for this? Is it a case that everything that you start you like, or do you sometimes get an a cappella and start writing the bass and then think, actually, no, I need to restart this because I'm like not feeling it? And particularly one of the things that I wanted to bring up actually was I saw your Beatport bio, and I had to write it down, because normally on the bios of artists, almost everyone you look at, there's this huge bit of text talking about all their accolades and all of these things, and written as though it's a story about them. And yours simply says it's all about the groove. It's all about the groove. That's it, which was a real standout for me, and I can hear it in your music. Like it's really clear in your music.
My whole body is a tattoo, because I love tattoos. I love it. And the only phrase I have, or the only thing about music I have, is that phrase on my feet. It's all about groove, man. But it's all about groove in life, for everything. It's all about groove. To talk to people, to be in a club, to make music is all about the groove. So I didn't erase many projects. Like pretty much all the projects that I start. Well, if it's a remix, I have to fill in it. Sometimes they send me and they pull me a check on it, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I'm really sorry, I cannot do it. So it's easy for me to say no now, that I start a project and talk to the guy 2 weeks or 1 week later and be like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I don't feel it. So I listen to things really good. And when I start a project, I mean, when I put that kick, bass, hi-hat, claps, I let it sound like so much. Like I just put it in the speakers and just walk around 1 hour, 2 hours. And I feel that when I feel that I have groove, that I move you, that's the thing that I want. I'm all right. Now I can do it. Sometimes when I steal those vocals, I feel it already. So I know what I'm gonna put on it, and so I don't have to erase the project. And so it doesn't happen to me that much. I try to do it, and try to do it good, and I try to do it with groove.
Yeah, that's what I was going. So you're feeling it emotionally, and also it's making you move, and obviously
that's the problem that
you've got the DJ skills. So
that's the problem that I told you before. All my music 4 years ago. I mean, 4 years ago to back, I did that music because I feel that music for having it on a pool, drinking a beer, being in your house, just music. I mean, music, house music, to have it. Because you know what? I love Head Candy. Do you remember Head Candy?
Yeah, totally.
The mixes that they did. So I wanted to sound like that. Like my tracks have to be like funky. Like if you check out my first album, they have so many instruments. I have to talk with, because I study production. That's what I study in college. I did production of movies and all that. So I started putting all these people together. I did the bass, like the kick, the bass, the hi-hat, and everything. So I start talking to piano artists, saxophones, and I put it all together. That's how I wanted to sound, like orchestra, like funky, like fun. And didn't work for clubs, but it worked for me, and I have a lot of groove, and that the music represent me. But now that you need to do music for clubs, for people know you, for DJs to play you, well, I have to change a little bit my style, but trying to be me. That's what I try.
Yeah, that's really interesting. For keeping the soul of who you are with the what's required by the labels or the clubs. Really interesting. One of the things that will come into that is how the piece of music is arranged over time as well. So once you've identified, okay, I've kind of listened to this, I've edited up the vocals, the bass, the hat, the clap, everything is the kick drum, it's there, and I'm moving to this thing. How do you then arrange it? Do you have a particular technique? Some people sort of use music they've written before, other people's music as a guide, other people jam things in. How do you normally sort of turn that core idea into your finished song?
I don't know if it's thanks to the course that I did, the school, I knew how you have to put 32 bars for the start, 32 bars to present the track, a break or a small break, and a 32 break and another. So I start doing it like that, like the teacher told me. And I work a little bit, and then I start copying another producers that I love. I used to put his the track of the guys, and I started copying it. And now I do always my own. I got it over here, and I can read it to you. I do it 32 on the 29, 28 bar. I did a little break. Then I hit with the bass line in the 33. There's a minute. Then I do a little presentation for 30 seconds. Then I do a small break. Then I do a 32 with everything. Big break, 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, depends on the intensity you want to do it. Then I do a minute of everything, bang it, and then I do a minute for the other mix. And that's how I do it. that's a work for me, and that's my structure. That's my structure that I do. That's how I do everything. And I've been doing it like that for like 4 years, and that's me. That's what I feel, and that's me, and I don't change it. At least I have to do it with I receive a vocal, and the vocal need another structure.
Yeah, love it. Makes perfect sense. And I think that's really good, because oftentimes people think that they have to do everything differently all of the time, even though that might not be what the music really needs.
I learned that with sorry to stop you. I learned that with David when 4 years ago he found his sound, his really sound with hit cuts and another track that he got. He started. You heard a track of David and you know it's him. And I think that's the I mean, if you want to be something, I mean, if you want to be remind, or if you want to be, I don't know, remind, you can say you have to have your sound so people can know it's you. I know time is going to change and you have to be changing your sound a little bit, but you have to be you, and you have to be recognized for your sound, for the structure of your track, or for how you work your sound. Actually, yes, you have to be recognized for that.
And so that arrangement that you were using that before, when it was, you were writing the music that was more kind of, as you said, for the pool or just enjoying at home, and that's the same structure that you now use for the dance floor. Is that right?
Yeah.
But now you don't have as many instruments in the kind of dance floor bangers as you used to have.
No. Yeah. I'm trying to don't have that much. Actually, it's probably because I'm not a musician, and I try to don't. I don't know how you say it.
Don't make it too complicated. Yeah, I know.
Complicated. Yeah.
Totally.
And I think it's you don't need to. When you go to a club, like I learned that because I used to love to have so many instruments. If you heard my first album or a couple more of my tracks, or if you have heard my chill out album, you want to get crazy. I got so many instruments, and for the club, didn't work that good. You need to have more bass, the bass, and one instrument. Can be a piano, can be a saxo, can be a trumpet. Just one sound. Try to have one sound. Obviously, you can have a violin. How you say it?
Violin, strings.
Strings and everything. But it's gonna be down in the track. It's not gonna be everything together. So I try to go more on bass and kick. Sorry, that's what I try to do.
And one thing I was curious about is, we mentioned going into the studio. Do you have a studio at your home? Do you travel somewhere else for the studio? What does your setup look like, and what's in it?
Well, actually, I'm in my new house, but I have a studio. I have a studio rent, and it's a garage. Actually, it's my brother's garage. He divided in two, and I rent part of the garage, and I got over there my studio, speakers, turntables, and pretty much all my setup to record the radio show and all the things. But I want to tell you, on COVID, I start recording. I bring one of my computers here to my house, and this little piano that I have here. That's all my studio, and those are my headphones.
Right, so M Audio MIDI controller, set of AKG.
No. Those are amazing, man. Those, I don't know, Samsung.
Oh, these are Samsungs. There you go.
They're less than $100, and they sound so good, man. It's crazy. And I work here in my house. Pretty much all the ideas and everything, I work here in my studio. And then if I want to do the mix and master or whatever I want to do, I just go to the big studio. But it's easy for me because if I have my wife want to kill me, but if I have an idea, I'm cooking or we're watching TV, I just wake up, come here to the room, put my headphones, and do the idea or check out whatever. So that's my setup, man. I produce music with a little piano and headphones.
Love it. And again, that's really good, because people feel that they have to own everything there is to own.
If you get on my Instagram, I'm gonna do publish KPD official. If you get on my Instagram and you scroll down, you're gonna see my old studio. It's still my studio, but I sell everything. I got a virus. I don't know. I have so many toys that I didn't use because the computer have it. I mean, I use it because I use it on the first time that I get, but I stopped using it because everything is on Logic. Everything is in Cubase. Everything is on Studio One. Everything is inside of the computer. You don't need to have a big room. You don't need to have a studio. And you see that on the new producer and kids, they produce on the plane. They don't need anything. I rest on the plane. I don't know how to do it, man. I rest on the plane. Always. I don't work in the plane. I always rest. I work in my house. I'm telling you, I don't work in the hotel. I don't work anywhere, man. I work in my house. I got pretty much all prepared I never prepare my sets. I want to tell that. I always have so much music on my pen drive and everything, but I try to have everything prepared when I go out. I don't do nothing I rest on the hotel and I rest in the airport. And that's what I do. So that here is my studio, a little bit, a little room on my house. I got the big one that you can see it on my Instagram, and I work a lot there. Or if I have to work with David, I go to his studio. He moved right now from Madrid to South Spain, but he used to have his studio in Madrid, and I used to go over there and work over there too. So you don't need much actually for make music.
And then you said once you've written the track, you'll usually then go to your bigger studio, and that's where you'll do the mix down and check it.
Well, actually, yeah, check more on the speakers because I live in in a building, so I cannot have the speakers over here. And the headphones are quite good, but they don't have. I think the middle ones they're quite tricky. So when I finish the track that I do over here, I just go to a studio. I got a couple of I got different speakers on my studio, and I try over there. With a couple of speaker, or I send it to a friend. Actually, usually because they've sent me a lot of music, so I send it to him, and he got a great studio. And I send it to him, and I was like, "How you feel this?" And that's the good thing of music and producing and doing all these courses or meet people that you can send to the guys and be like, I just finished this, man. Can you check it out? And you send it to a couple of friends, and a couple of friends told you, oh, you are a little bit high here, or you're, and if you all pretty much get on the same page, you just have to fix that, and you are ready to mix and master.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent and supporter of surrounding yourself by people and not just doing it on your own. Okay, great. So then just going down the collaboration side of things as well, we've talked about David Penn. We've had him on the show here, like wonderful guy, so much energy. You know, it was an amazing interview. How does it work when you go in the studio to write a track? How is it different to what you would do on your own? I know obviously he plays instruments, but how do you guys work together?
Well, if we go into his studio, we work in his computer. He got a Studio One. I work with Logic, so I have to get pretty much all in audio, and it's easy. I mean, it's pretty much the same. At first, if we got an idea, we work in all the tracks with a vocalist, so we got the idea already. So it's easy. We just sit down and start doing the bass line, kicks, the structure of the track. So it's easy. But I start learning to work in Studio One, so now I can touch more his computer. That he don't let me that much, but he's the one sitting down over there, so I just can hit some ideas. So when he go to the bathroom, I just sit down and start trying to touch something or whatever. And but it's easy. It's easy.
And do you guys like talk on the phone about the idea that you're going to work on, or sometimes you just go in the studio and?
No, we go to the studio. We have to work in it. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember that much, but his studio is 15 minutes from here. So I just take the bike and I go to his studio and sit down, listen to the ideas. I usually go with a couple, with like 5 or 7 acapellas or ideas that I have, and He is like we just did 2 tracks. Now he just moved to South Spain to Malaga, so I have to take the plane over there. So I brought like 15 acapellas and ideas on all records and whatever. And he was like, "Oh, we like that. We like this one," and just start working on it. So it's easy.
Right, and then obviously both of you guys are DJing, so you test the track out, and then do you sometimes come back and discuss on the changes you're gonna make?
Yeah, always. And I learned that from him, man. He tried all the tracks always, because I'm scared of that. He don't care at all. He just played the track, and I'm like, I'm not playing. He always asked me, "Did you play that track?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm not playing that track." like when I'm in the resident club, I play it because I don't care. Maybe it's 10 people in the floor, so I just check it out, the sound, and it's easy. But sometimes I just go out, and he was like, "Did you play it?" I was like, "No, man, I'm not playing. I have the floor like crazy. I'm scared to play it." And he played. He don't care at all, man. He played the track. I was like, he always tried the track. He's amazing. And I learned that from him. You have to play the track, and you have to be calm when you finish a track. You think it's amazing. You have to be calm. You have to first, you have to send them to a couple of guys to give you the okay, big guys. Don't send it to your friends, because they're just gonna tell you what you want to hear. So send it to the big guys that they're gonna make blood on it, and it's gonna be bad. Then change everything and go to the club and try it in a club with the speakers and see the sound, because it changed a lot. And then you send again, try to send it again to your guys, and then you're ready to send it to the label. And that's a lot. That take you a long time. That take you a couple of weeks. And I know it's crazy to have a track a couple of weeks when you think your track is the best, it's gonna be a hit. Don't worry. If it's a hit, doesn't matter if it came a month later or a year later. Doesn't matter. Actually, if you release some big labels, Armada, Defected, Toolroom, or Club Sweat, or whatever, they're gonna give you 6 months, 1 year to go. So don't worry for that 2 weeks more. Try the track and be sure it sounds really good.
So those the big labels, it's a case of one, you've signed the contract with them, and then because of their schedule of releases, you can be waiting, as you said, like 6 months to a year before is the time for that release. And in that time, are you playing the track out?
I do. I play how you say it? I Got No. We present I Got No in ADA 3 years ago, and COVID came, and track took like 6 months or 8 months to go out. And David and I, we smashing in ADA. He played on Defected party, huge party. Everybody was asking for the track, and I was like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's coming next month, man." Blah 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 blah. And COVID hit, and the worst. It was on October. Track was gonna be out on December. I don't know what happened. All right, we do it in January, March, and March COVID hit, and 1 year to the track to go out. And I was like, nothing happened that much. But this summer, give a little break with COVID, and track start working good. But we played the track all summer and pretty much all winter until COVID, and everybody loved it. Everybody was, what's this? What is coming from? Blah, blah, blah. 1 year out, and the track, I think the most popular thing, it was 2 years later of the track, when we hit like 20 millions on 2 years later, the track being out.
That's it, because I miss those days, I'll be honest. And I think that demand for a record, I miss the days of going to a club and hearing a DJ play a track and thinking, what the hell is that piece of music? And never hearing another DJ ever play it. And then 6 months later, you hear that DJ again, they drop that track again. And you're like, you know, they're back with the days, obviously, with where you went to buy vinyl, you're like asking everyone, what is this thing? Where do I get this? Nobody knows what the piece of music is. So I love this story and the demand that like, what is it? that KPD and David Penn are playing. Where do I get this thing,
Yeah, well, I mean, things are changing and I love it. That's why I love that's why I love to be a resident of a club, because I can play promos, man, and I can play and I can show people music, and I see people with the Satham just trying to reach the track, and I was like, some haters, they didn't like the Satham, but every time I see a guy just trying to get a track of a promo, I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm doing something good. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing something good, and I love it. And I think things are changing, and people start to go to a club and trying to get new music. And I love it. That's what I love. And this came from vinyl, and then everything changed with we'll probably go out with CDs, but now electronic music gets so popular, or reggaeton, or whatever. People just want to listen the same track in the radio, in the club, in the morning, and they don't care. They just want that track. And I was like, man, it's so much music, so many producers, so much guys doing good things that you're gonna love, but you don't get it because you just want those hits that you listen in the radio or in the TV, and you think that's the cool. I mean, they're cool, but it's more music, and you don't need to. Sometimes people came. It doesn't happen too much to me, but can you put that hit? And I was like, are you not tired to listen, man? You need to listen it now again. I mean, you're with your friends dancing, and you need to listen that track again. It's sound in the radio, in the TV. No, man, I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, no, I love that.
That doesn't happen that much to me, but that's my answer, man.
I love that, the thought of being original, experimenting, being creative with your DJ sets, and holding on to these tracks that other people don't have for quite some time.
That's why I love.
I like the mystery of it as well.
Yeah, I love the promos now, man. That's why on Sundays I feel so good just listening to the promos. And then on Mondays when I record my radio show, they're all promos, and I'm like, man, this is so good, man. And many labels many of the promos, they're not going anywhere because they go with small labels, and that's why I love Traxsource so bad, man. I love Traxsource. I'm pro Traxsource, man, because they show you so much house good music, and you don't have to sell that much to be in the top. So you see a lot of music in the top, and they present you so much music, man. And I think it's not that commercial like the Beatport. That's why I love Traxsource that much, man.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, I did have one question before we wrap things up, which is about Ain't Got No. As you said, 25 million streams on Spotify. So first of all, congratulations. I mean, that is epic.
Yeah, let me tell you. Nothing happened, man.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm
still the same guy. I mean, nothing happened. And I play a little more. Yeah, it's all right. Love the guys. Love the people to know the track and check my Spotify and check more of my music. But nothing happened. My life's still the same, man. I don't know.
So the message that I think has really shone throughout the podcast is consistency, quality and consistency, and the visibility of making the connections. You talked about ADE, having people around you. It's keeping those three things up all the time rather than thinking you're going to have one hit.
Yeah, try to be pure. Don't be bad. Don't be egoist. You say egoist? You say
egotistical. Yeah.
Don't be bad, man. It's you can help. I mean, I try to help all the Spanish producers. They send me music. They're new guys. They don't know how to send an email. They don't know how to reach an email. If the music is good, just send it to me, man. I send to the labels. That's what I say to the Spanish producer or DJs that are getting in clubs. They come in like, how? Just send it to me, man. If the track is good, I'm gonna send it to a label. Don't worry. I know a lot of labels. It took me so long. I sent so many emails. It was crazy, man. I get so many no's. I get so many no answers. That is crazy. That's why I want everybody to go to ADA and just meet the people. You're gonna see they're all skin. I don't know how you say it. They're people, man. They're
see
people
them in the flesh, yeah.
Yeah, the people like they just go over there, meet the people, go to the parties, just talk to the guys. They everybody want to help because everybody want the electronic music to keep forever on in the wall or in the mind. So just help the people and be patient. That's the thing. I didn't have that much patience, but now I have it. And be patient, keep working, and keep making tracks, keep digging. I don't know, man. It's work for everybody. I mean, if you want to do it, it's work for everybody, man. You can play in a hotel, you can play in a restaurant, you can play in a club, you can play in your friend's party. I mean, you can play everywhere. And in one of those places, I mean, you're gonna feel good just playing it. But in one of those places, you're gonna meet people that they're gonna put you in another club or in another party or in another country or they want to ask you for music. They want to help you. If you're doing your job good and don't be an ass, you're gonna have work forever. Like David Penn, I'm talking so much about him because he's my friend, and he's 50 years old. He get 50 this year, and he put a post so good, man. He didn't believe he's gonna be there with 50 years old. You think of 50-year-old guy is an old guy, and you see these guys like Sven Bath, Carl Cox, Fatboy Slim, I don't know, David Guetta, Aswell, Ingrosso. They're all, and they still playing. They're still there. It's gonna be work forever, man. If you are strong on you, so just take a little bit care of you, and just be pure. Just be pure.
It's amazing advice.
Doesn't matter if you want to change your style. Doesn't matter, man. I'm pure of house music because, like the song say, I took my first pill in Ibiza, and that's what I listen. House music. That's what I love. That's on my mind always. But if you want to do like my first friend Benny, he changed to that down tempo, blah blah, and now he's doing his best time of his life. He's playing all around the world. He's enjoying, and he changed his style. Doesn't matter, man. Just go with the flow. Just and like I say, it's all about the groove, man.
Absolutely love it. It's such a positive vibe to end it on, and I love that you're very much there as well, saying, look, see me, introduce yourself to me, send me music. I want to support people. We all want this music to live on. I think it's an absolutely beautiful thing. So on that note, just to end things, what's coming up for you? Where can people find you? You mentioned ADE, but if they're looking to come to one of your parties, or if you've got some new music coming out, what can we expect?
I'm always in Madrid. Like I say, I got my residence here that I love. I'm gonna be in Marrakesh next month. I'm gonna be in London. I'm gonna be in Amsterdam, and I don't know right now. And music is easy. I'm gonna release on Motif Records backpack. I'm doing right now. They Let It Be House send me a remix that I'm gonna start on Monday. It's gonna be a fast remix, so it's gonna be out in I'm gonna make it in 1 week, 2 weeks, and I'm gonna release it in 3. So it's gonna be fast. And I have 2 collaborations with David Penn. I got a collab with the Cube guys. We didn't talk about the Cube guys. Those crazy guys are awesome, man. And they know how to party. And I got a collab with those 2 crazy guys that I love. And let me see. I don't know, man. I got.
Exactly what I said at the beginning. Prolific, loads going on. I said it right at the start, and here we are tying it up with that.
Man, I got a lot of. Sorry, I got 3 tracks with Relentless that I love. The guy Relentless, the singer, he's from UK, and I got 3 tracks. One is coming off Super Freak 909 that I released a week ago, and we did really good in Beatport. It's in the top. I got another track on Vicious that I got my remix, Keep on Rocking. He's on top on Funky House. That I love that remix, man. And I didn't work on Traxxas, and I don't know why, man. I put all my heart on that remix. I love it. I play like every time I play it. I don't play that much my music, but I love that Keep on Rocking. And it's doing good on Beatport now. And I got another track with those guys. And I released Phoenix Music the same time I go to ADA from Andy. A remix from a classic. It's called let me see, I have it over here. It's called Jack Had a Groove. Move. That's crazy remix, man. It's gonna be releasing in 1 month. I did it 2 months ago, and I released it with Andy. And I got another track on Phoenix Music with Briones, the singer. I don't know, man.
Sounds like more than one track a month to me. Sounds like more than one track a month to me.
I got a lot. I got it here on my computer, and I got a lot of places to go, man. I got a collab with Babert, that is a really Italian guy, really doing good on Traxxas, but we have to fix it. I don't know why. We sent it to a couple of labels and it didn't work, so we have to change it a little bit. And I got an unreleased track over here that I'm seeing. It's called Wake Up, that I didn't have a label yet. I just finished it 2 weeks ago, and I have to see a label. And I got a crazy, I don't know, I have a lot of things I got a lot of things, man.
Lots to do, lots to get out there.
Yeah, I have to be. I mean, I thought it's better to just release one track and a good track, but society and the labels are going and running so fast, they make you do a lot of music, and I don't know. You never know what's gonna be the good one, and some tracks work in Latin America, some tracks work in America, some tracks work in London. You don't know where your track is gonna hit. So
get it done and get it out.
Just keep working, keep positive, and keep busy. Try to be busy.
Love it, man. Thank you so much for being on the episode. It was I knew that we'd have a bunch of energy on here as well from your DJ sets and how passionate you are with your music, and it was really very similar with David as well, like loads of kind of energy and enthusiasm for what you're doing. So yeah, a huge thank you again for coming on the show, sharing your journey, your thoughts, some real highlights around the, I thought this would be huge and it would all change for me. Actually, this is how it works. But sharing that stuff is like so important, to people.
I just try to help. Like I told you, man. I just try to help, because when you are young and you see those social media and you see those guys with their planes and going to this huge party, that's amazing. It didn't happen to me. I wish it happened to me, but I still working. I still packing clubs, small clubs, not that big, but people get crazy with me. They give me at the end of the set, like I play Sunday Marina, Valencia, huge club, beautiful. And at the end of the set, because I closed the party, the people came to me and was like, "What a great set! You playing here every Sunday?" I was like, "All right, I can go to sleep good now." Just one guy loved the set, and a couple of guys told me, but I was like, now everything is great, man. I did a great job.
Love it.
When you do a great job, you don't need nobody to tell you. But when somebody just came to the set and tell you, it's like, great, man. So it's great to keep doing this, man. I'm gonna keep doing it forever until I can do it. Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. So good. Well, look, once again, thank you for joining me on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to learn more about you and your journey and your outlook, and this, exactly how you've ended it, being lit up about the music and just, doing this as long as you can do it, because it's music. You're not running a marathon here. You're able to sit in the studio and write tracks and go and DJ. And yeah, hopefully, when I'm on a trip back to Europe, or if you play out here in the States, let me know, because I'd love to come to one of your parties.
For finishing, thank you very much for having me. I have to fix a couple things to go to USA, because I used to play in Puerto Rico. I live over there, and they catch me playing over there with no papers, and they send me to jail 5 days. So I cannot go to a state for 5 years and pass. So now I have to work my visa so I can come back over there. So,
beautiful story to end it on, man.
I got huge stories in States, and I studied over there 3 years, but they catch me playing with no papers, and they pulled me back to Spain after 5 days of jail, dressing all orange, and it was that was crazy. I think I was 25 or 26. Crazy moment.
What a story. What a way to end it. Brilliant, man. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.